about getting gassy. I like it deep fried.
Hello everybody and Happy New Year! I've been away for so long, I'm very sorry. I just needed a big rest. I'm just lazy. I just thought I'd have a really big rest. I've had my rest and I'm back. I'm back with a vengeance. Now before I start today, I want to say a massive thank you to Oliver and his mother for sending me some fantastic cooking things. Things I need for the Danavan when I get back there. I've got a cheese grater. I've got a jug. I can measure liquids. It's got numbers on it. Look, numbers. A proper knife. A proper knife. A whisk. Even my mother hasn't got a whisk. And one of them for scraping potato thingies. This is amazing. A massive, massive thank you very much, Oliver and your mum. They're from Scarborough in England, which is only, what, 15 miles, 20 miles away from where I live. So big, big thank you to you guys. I'm probably not going to use them yet. I want to save them for when I get back to the Danavan. Because my mother's got most of these things, apart from a whisk. So I'm going to save them. I don't want to ruin them. So a huge thank you guys. Really appreciated, it really is. So what am I going to cook up for you today? Now, I got this for Christmas off my mother, Jamie Oliver book. Jamie Oliver's recipes. There's about 400 recipes in here. I've had a really good look and I've picked a recipe, okay? I'm going to make crab cakes because where I live, next to the coast, crabs are probably the biggest food around here. I've never seen a crab, I've never eaten crab. I barely know what a crab is. It's like a big spider, but hard, that's how I see them, and a bit salty. So I'm going to make that. Now, I'll be honest, the recipe isn't even in this book. I just thought it looked good. It looked good. There's no crab recipes in there, but I did find a Jamie Oliver recipe for crab cakes online, and that's what I'm going to do today. So we don't need the book. I just thought I'd throw that bit in. So yeah, crab cakes, let's get on with it. Let's go get a crab first of all. You don't have any live crabs, do you?
No, there's nothing, nobody's at sea.
Nobody?
Yet. No, they haven't gone yet.
Well, no wonder I can't find any live crabs. All the crab pots are in here, in the harbour. They're not going to catch them with them here, either. They need to be in the sea. What's going on? So the lady in the fishmongers, or whatever you call it, told me that they're expecting a lot of crabs to come in the middle of the week. Now, where are the crabs at the weekend? Have they gone on holiday or something? Have they gone away? Why is there no crabs today, Saturday? Something's a bit fishy here. This ain't right. These are the only crabs I've found in Bridlington. Right, I've been very lucky indeed. Apparently no fishermen are going out catching crabs until the middle of the week, but I desperately need a crab. So I thought I'd come down to the beach side, the shore, and look what I've found. Look what I've found. This little crab, as you can see, has just been walking out of the sea. Bless him. I've got my dinner there. I'm going to prove to you how easy it is to cook a crab. This one's clearly alive. Whoa! Clearly alive, looks. He's jumping around still. Let's take him home and see what we can do with him. Okay, so I've come home. I've got my crab. And I have to be honest, this is probably the most disgusting thing I've ever cooked in my life. Well, it is. It's definitely the most disgusting thing I've ever cooked in my life. Look at it. It's a crab. It's got eyes. It's got eyes there. And this is a male. I'll tell you why it's a male. I've looked it up on the internet and I found out the shell is like all one, yeah? If it was a female, it would be like a heart-shaped. Okay? It would have like a line down the middle and a heart-shaped. This is a man. Another way to tell is the tail. This is, it's got feathers like a peacock. That is the most disgusting thing I've ever seen in my life. This is a male. If it was a female, this would be a lot wider. Okay? So I know it's a male, and the claws are more manly. So I know this is a male. and males have 60% white meat. Females have 40% white meat. So males are the ones to get. They're usually the bigger ones. I got the biggest one they had. I caught it, obviously. I didn't buy it, I caught it. So let's make crab cakes. What else do we need? Until today, I didn't think I'd ever seen a crab before. I have. It's from that film, Alien. This is exactly what came out of that woman's stomach. How disgusting! People are eating this all across the world. Ugh! Okay, a few of the other ingredients I need are spring onions, a couple of lemons, red chillies, cherry tomatoes. I don't like tomatoes, not raw, but hey, it's in the recipe, you'll like it. And a red pepper. I had to buy them too as well. I don't know what I'm going to do with them, I don't need them. But hey, that's some of the things, and some potatoes as well, and salt and other things. But yeah, let's just get on with it, yeah? Right, the first thing we need is 500 grams of potatoes. Now, I found these in the garage. My mother's away for the weekend, so I can just use whatever food I want. Found these in the garage, and they're definitely potatoes, I can tell that, because they smell like chips. So we need 500 grams of them, and I need to peel them. My mum always uses a knife. I'm going to use this, which Oliver and his mum sent me. So just give me, I don't know, 20 minutes, and I'll peel 500 grams of these, okay? Okay, I've cut the potatoes, 500 grams. Well, it's actually 487 grams, but I don't think it'll matter. Add a lot of salt and get them boiling. Get the potatoes boiled, and then we'll move on. Now, don't throw your potato peelings away, because they can come in handy for all sorts of things. For example, let's say you've got a young child and you're trying to teach them how to count. You can do it this way. Little child, I've got 7 pieces of potato here, and I've got 3 pieces of potato here. If I put all the pieces of potato together, how many pieces of potato have I got? Now, we know the answer. Well, I do. But, you know, you can watch the child doing it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Alright, I didn't have the right amounts. But it would have come to 10. Your child would now know how to come to 10. All through cooking. Get your children involved. Teach them how to count. Potatoes, I'm telling you, it's the future. Now, I didn't think I'd ever seen a crab before, but the more I think about it, the more I'm remembering. I have. It was in an American documentary, a very serious one, about fish and crabs and squid and octopuses and things. It was called Finding Nemo. A very serious documentary. The difference with them is they could talk. Now, English crabs can't talk. I know that for a fact, because I've been here for quite a while. He's not said a word. I've tried having conversation with him. I've asked him how his day has been. He's not interested. Or he's a very ignorant crab. I don't know, but he's not talking to me. So maybe it's just American crabs which talk. English ones don't. Not in this area. But yeah, Finding Nemo, a very interesting documentary. Check it out. Right, now I'm going to teach you how to prepare a crab. Okay? How am I going to do this? Basically, I'd not seen a crab until yesterday. I've never tasted crab. I didn't even know you could eat crab. But I found out you can, and I've got a crab. I've been out and I've got one. Now, it reminds me of Alien. You know the film Alien? Where it comes out of that woman's stomach and it goes blah. It looks like the alien thing what comes out of the woman's stomach on that film. But it's not. It's a crab. Ugh, it's fallen to bits. Ugh, you dirty git. Okay, unfortunately his head's fallen off. Yeah, his head's fallen off because his eyes are still there. His body's in there. Oh, what a shame. And it stinks. It really stinks, honestly. It's one of the worst smells I've ever smelt, ever. So you take your crab and you take the top off. This one's cooked, by the way. I've already boiled it. Alright? Ugh! Is that really going to be eaten? You take the top off and you pull out what they call the dead man's fingers or something. It's these manky bits. I think this is the worst thing I've ever done in my life. Ugh! You take all these out. This is disgusting. Oh God, I feel sick. Just take them out, yeah? Yeah, they're commonly known as dead man's fingers. Well, what they actually are is the crab's lungs, believe it or not. These are the crab's lungs, so you want to take all his lungs out so he can't breathe anymore. Even though he's dead, so I don't see why it matters really. But we'll take them out anyway. The next thing we need to do is take his claws and his legs off. And you do that by grabbing them and pulling them off. Twist it, I don't know. You take them off and the claws on both sides. And then you're just left with the purse. This is called the purse. What you need to do with the purse... Oh, who invented this? Who thought of eating this? What I'm going to do anyway, I don't know if you meant to, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to take the tail off with his feathers. He's got I can't believe crabs have feathers. That's his tail. Right, that's come off. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing. Oh, that's disgusting. He's all cracking and breaking and... Oh. Okay, now we've got to rip his jaw out of his head. Attached to his jaw is his stomach, also known as the sandbag. Oh, his head's cut. Oh, that's disgusting. Right, that's his jaw, and his stomach's going to come out with it. That's his jaw and stomach. And there's, I think I've left some in. I'm going to take that out as... Oh, this is the most disgusting thing in the history of disgustingness ever. I don't even... That's another crab! No! Or is it another crab? Oh man, this is manky. And then you can get the meat. I don't even know which bit's meat. It just all looks like mingness. That's disgusting. Am I meant to eat that? As you can see, I've now professionally prepared the crab. I've dressed the crab. I've undressed the crab. I've ripped his flesh off his body. You can see we've got the purse there with all the meat taken out. We've got his tail with feathers on. Now that claw I'm going to save for presentation reasons. And yeah, just basic bits of leg and heart and gut and poo and just all kinds of minging bits. But I've done it and I've got some crab meat out. Admittedly, I could have probably got a bit more out, but the point of almost being sick, I had to stop. I've got enough there. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter as long as the end product is fantastic, and it's going to be, trust me. Then we need to get a red pepper, quarter it, and de-seed it. To do this, you take out the top of the pepper, like so, and quarter it, like so. Oh, I'm good. I'm good. It's as simple as that. 1 quartered pepper. Then we need 4 red chilies, leaving one of them halved and the rest of them sliced up properly. So I'm going to just half this one. You do this by finding out where the halfway point of it is and cutting along that halfway point. That way you end up with two halves. It's quite easy really. Now a lot of people when they're doing chilies take out the seeds. What's the point in taking the seeds out? If you want chili in something, you want heat in something. The heat is in the seeds, so why take them out? If you don't want seeds and you don't want heat, don't use chilies. That's my advice, and I'm a professional cook. Right, the next part is to brown off the vegetables you've just cut. Now, chefs always advise you use a good quality olive oil. I advise don't bother, it costs a lot of money. And I'm sure this is just as good as anything else. Can you really taste the oil in it when it's cooked? Just buy the cheapest oil you possibly can. Or use butter. Or beer or vinegar. Just don't spend a lot of money on olive oil. Alright? I am, because I didn't pay for it. My mother bought this. So, you put in the halved peppers. Chilies. You put in the quartered peppers. You put in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 cherry tomatoes. And you put in all the chopped chilli. There's a lot of chilli there. Maybe more than I need, to be honest with you. But I love chilli. I love heat, so I'm going for it. Put all them in there. Mix them up a little and just let them fry off for a few minutes. One very, very important thing I should point out at this stage is if you are going to cook chilies like this, and so many of them in a pan, make sure you have a beer next to you. It hits the back of your throat. Oh man! That is burning, that is hurting my eyes, my throat, I can hardly breathe. Right, at this stage I'm going to take out the big bits because they're for the salsa later. So at this stage I've just added a tiny bit of spring onion. I'm going to add the potatoes, which I made earlier. I overdid them a little bit, unfortunately, but they're okay. Because this is going into a fish cake, they need mashing up anyway, so it doesn't matter. And the crab meat. Doing it quite quickly because I'm telling you something, I can't take much more of this chilli. I love hot food, but not without eating it. This is hurting, man. This is really hurting. So mix that up. And then you need to mash it. You mash all this together, which will separate all the crab. It will infuse all the chilies with the potatoes and the crab. Make it all nice and even. Ready for us fish cakes. This is starting to look nice. Well, if I'm being honest, it's not, is it? But hey, just give me a minute. We'll get there, we'll get there. Don't stress out. God, anyone can cook. It's not rocket science. The important thing to remember when you're cooking is don't panic. Don't panic. You've plenty of time. Just don't panic. This is a good point to add a bit of salt and pepper. Why we're adding salt, I don't know, because salt was in the potato and salt is obviously in the crab from the sea. But that's what it says. And if the professional chef Jamie Oliver says use salt and pepper, I'm going to use salt and pepper. Meanwhile, we need to prepare a salsa to go with the fish cakes. The crab cakes, sorry. So you get the peppers, the chilies, the tomatoes, which you've had in a pan for a while and blackened them slightly, and chop them up to the consistency which agrees with you for a salsa. Also, add some chopped spring onions. 3 will do. Right, one very important tip I can give you is when you're cooking or cutting chilies, red hot chilies, if you do go to the toilet halfway between making the meal, don't just wash your hands after you've been to the toilet. It's a good idea to wash your hands before you go to the toilet. Otherwise, when you come back, seriously, after about 4 or 5 minutes, you feel like you need to go to the toilet again. And just stay there and just sit there. You feel like you need a wee constantly for at least, well, half of an hour. It might go on a bit longer, I don't know. It's not a nice experience. I've never gone through it myself because I'm a professional. I know to wash my hands before I go to the toilet. Moving on. So once you've got your tomatoes, your chilli, your spring onions, your bits and pieces all chopped up, ready in a bowl, add about 3 tablespoons of olive oil and half of the juice of half of 1 lemon. Also, a pinch of salt, a pinch of pepper. That is going to be the best dressing ever for a crab cake. On top of that, if you've got any left, you can use it for your potato chips or things like that. It's just a general beautiful salsa. I've made it before many times in my life. But remember, honestly, about this chilli thing, make sure you wash your hands before you go to the toilet, not just after. That is a serious warning, okay? What you didn't see is I've had a 20 minutes break between this and the last clip. I've had to go to the toilet, sit down for a while. Well, I won't tell you, I won't go into details because I'm cooking. Then we need to come back to our crab meat with the potatoes, the chilli, and make some patties, okay? Don't make them too big. Just some nice, small-ish patties. There's 2 I've already made, look. Beautiful. Just pat the meat together. I think I'm going to get 4, maybe 5 out of this. So after having the patties in the fridge for 4 hours, okay, now is the time to cook them. The easy bit. Make sure you have a nice hot pan with some olive oil in the bottom of there. I'm just going to cook 4. I've made 5, but I'm going to cook 4. It takes about 5 minutes turning them over halfway through. Everything in there is already cooked, so it's just a matter of heating everything up now and browning it nicely for the plate. So now we're ready to serve. Now, I've kept the shell. I think it looks fantastic if you have the shell of the crab on the plate with one of its claws. So we'll put that on the plate like so. A couple of pieces of lemon on one side. Then we take our fish cakes, which are cut to perfection, as you can see. Place them on here. Wonderful, absolutely wonderful. And all we need now is a bit of the salsa, lovely fresh salsa. Put that on the side near the lemon. And voila! Ladies and gentlemen, crab cakes. Crab cakes! Now, yes, admittedly, if you go into a restaurant it might be served on a better plate. They might do the presentation a little differently, a little better maybe. But nobody on this planet can tell me this is not going to taste as good as Jamie Oliver can make himself. It was his recipe, I followed it to the book, and this is what has turned out. But let's see how it tastes. That is spectacular. I've never ever eaten crab before. I can honestly say I like crab. This is extremely spicy. I've put quite a lot of chilli in there, but I like it hot. That is wonderful. Now, the salsa, I don't like tomatoes raw. Although they have been partly cooked, but I will try this, especially for you. That is really nice. Because what you're tasting the most is the pepper and the onion. And I do like pepper and onion. And that is really refreshing. That is amazing. Absolutely amazing. People, you have to make this. You have to make it. I don't want anyone saying, oh, I can't cook. Anybody can cook. And I'm the proof.